Hi, everybody. Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars, your favorite pop culture and astrology podcast. In this episode, we are going to be doing celebrity predictions based on numerology and the tarot tea. So let's dive right in, you guys. Starting with Kylie Jenner. Okay, Kylie Jenner is in a one personal year this year, meaning that this is a year of fresh starts. Things feel different this year. She may have had some very interesting breakthroughs last year in 2025, in particular around, I'm going to say, her creativity, her career, and I think her relationship to Timothée Chalamet. Now, we have done several tarot readings on Kylie and Timothée, over the years. They've been together for like 3 years now. And at first we got like very superficial readings, and it was like, this doesn't look like it's going to last type readings. And again, the tarot is always just reading the current energy, right? We can only see what's kind of there currently. It can shift. People have free will. Things change over time, relationships deepen, whatever. And I think that's kind of what happened here. So the previous reading, I believe that we did for them, it looked like things were going really, really well. So there's been like a real shift in 2025 in their relationship, in particular in their readings. And I feel like tonight at I think it was the Golden Globes, when Timothée thanked Kylie Jenner publicly for like the first time. He referred to her as his partner of 3 years, supporting him, and he said, "I love you." Then the camera pans to her and she says, "I love you as well." Now, do I think that some of that is PR? I do. I still do. So I don't know. I think the tarot tea was picking up on a little whatever, but two things can be true at once. It can be a beneficial, partly strategic PR relationship that benefits both of their images, and there can be real love that has grown between them. And it does seem like that could be the case. So, okay, that's important that this happened in January, because the key word for the personal year one is first time. And the article that I read, I think it was like on E! News, said Timothée publicly speaks about Kylie, or says he loves Kylie, thanks Kylie, whatever, for the first time. That is giving 1 year energy. Things are changing in Kylie's world. Now, because this happened in January kind of sets the tone. And January for people in a one personal year is actually a 2 month. The way that we do personal months, I know, guys, put your little, put your thinking cap on here. It's like, there's layers to this stuff, right? Come with me down the rabbit hole. Now, if you want to know your personal month for a year, which is another vibration that tells you even more detail about what's happening that month, what that theme is going to be, still under the umbrella theme of your personal year, you're going to take the month number, so January, the first month of the year, so that's a 1 month, and you're going to add it to the personal year number. Now, Kylie's is super easy because she's in a one personal year. January is the first month of the year. So you're going to just do 1 and 1, and that's 2. So everybody who is in a one personal year, January is a 2 personal month. So this is specifically talking about new beginnings and fresh starts, that 1 energy for the whole year, but specifically in 2 energy, your partnerships. So if you are making new friends, if you are attracting new business collaborations, whatever it is that you're doing that has to do with partnerships in January, for everyone in a one personal year, including Kylie Jenner, just know that this is going to be very significant, and that relationship could be growing at an accelerated rate throughout the rest of your one personal year. Okay, so definitely, could they be getting engaged this year? I think based on the numerology and the timing, I would say yes, it could happen this year. She could end up being married next year in her 2 personal year. Okay, you guys, it's looking interesting. So a couple other things for Kylie Jenner prediction-wise on a personal note. Like I said, I think it's significant that she got this shout out from him during a 1 personal year, a 2 personal month, meaning definitely a fresh start in her partnership, showing that things are going to be trending towards the more serious and building as we get closer and closer to 2027, her 2 year of commitment. So I do think things are going to get more serious based on the numerology. Now, if we look at her, personal career, her creativity, she is a celebrity, someone who's famous for being in the public eye through reality TV and her cosmetics line. Something that I thought was really funny and something to note for everybody who's studying numerology right now. I know a lot of people in our group are just like learning, and in our Tea Time community, we're learning, we're growing together. So something that's interesting is that 2025 for Kylie Jenner was a 9 personal year. And isn't it interesting that in 9 personal years, we kind of reflect back on the previous cycle? It's like the 9 year is like closing out one cycle so that we can start fresh in the 1 year. So in a 9 year, you're like reflecting on everything. You're sorting through things. You're looking at, what worked in the past 9 years, what didn't. It truly is like the end of an era. And sometimes to close out a chapter, we do get nostalgic and we revisit. 9 is spiritual and emotional. Something funny is that in 2025, Kylie revisited her King Kylie era. And this is something that a lot of people talked about. People were wondering, is this going to be like the new her? Is she going back to that? I think it was just a little bit of nostalgia, and it was so perfect that it happened in the 9 year. She also closed the loop on a rumor that she was like on this one song with this group, basically proving that no, she wasn't on that album, but she did release a song with them. So it was sort of closing the loop, also exploring a little bit more of her creativity, definitely part of that sorting era. So last year in 2025, she was definitely sorting through her past, looking through her career and trying to decide where she wants to grow and who she wants to be in her next 9 year cycle, starting with 2026. This year, keep an eye out for whatever launch she may have. Her launch may be that she decides to retire. I don't know. It's very personal, and it has to do with what aligns with your own soul, your own spirit. But this is definitely a more independent year for her in 2026. And this is about showing the world who she is now. So definitely pay attention to Kylie in 2026 if you're a fan of hers and you want to see where she's headed, because 2026 is going to tell you what she is growing, where she's planting seeds, what she's interested in. The 1 year is very significant for letting people know what to expect from you over the next 9 years, pretty much. It's like where we kind of come out and say, okay, this is me, this is what I'm doing. And then we just kind of evolve and grow from there. But this is the year she's going to be putting that line in the sand, saying, hey guys, this is me now. Okay. So interesting. Now moving on to Selena Gomez. Now, a lot of people have been very interested in Selena Gomez, well, for a long time, let's be honest. But specifically, since she got married to Benny Blanco, that was such a huge topic of conversation. I mean, in 2025, it was all about Selena Gomez, her wedding, her engagement, her finally being happy. And wouldn't you know, I'll give you guys one guess, what year number 2025 was for Selena Gomez. Yeah, it was a 2 year. You guys, I'm telling you, the numerology does not lie. It was a 2 year of partnerships. Okay. So everybody who in our live stream asked me anything about numerology for your personal year, we had a lot of people asking about finding love, and they were in 2 personal years. The answer is yes. You guys, be open. It's coming. Okay. The 2 year is about that. So for Selena, 2026 is about expanding on the partnership energy that she established in 2025. Also, there was an interesting story about one of her really good friends, like Tina Marie, going and spending time with Benny Blanco. She unfollowed her friend, then it appeared that they were friends again. I don't really know, but that's another example of what can happen in a 2 year. You're really sorting through your relationships. The theme of a 2 year is connections, relationships, boundaries, being interdependent rather than codependent, really having to figure out, how can I do this whole relationship thing, whether it's a friendship, a business partner, or a romantic relationship, how can I do this in a way that's healthy and positive? So she was learning and growing through those themes. And we did see that, in several instances in the public eye. She did get married in a 2 year, very positive for potential stability long-term. It's a good year to get married. 2, 4, 6. Amazing. All amazing years. And then 2026 is about like now that she has that partner, now that she has that significant other and feels secure in that area of her life, 2026 is a 3-year that's going to be about more joy, more creativity. So we are going to see her now, like, get out of the house. She's going to be out of the house. She's going to be creative, more emotional, more expressive. She may adopt this year, adopt a dog, adopt a baby. She may talk about motherhood. 3 energy is the creative energy. So if someone is wanting to have children, we may find that happens in a 3-year, all those types of themes, because it is about expansion and growth, creatively, emotionally, expanding your joy. So yeah, we're going to see Selena in more creative roles. She may take on a new acting role or 2 that ends up being very important to her. There was some chatter last year about a potential Selena Quintanilla documentary or biopic. She could end up snagging that role and it being like a huge moment for her. There's going to be something creatively that really, strikes her in the heart in a way that's authentic and energizing and exciting and emotional. So look out for that. I think she's going to have a really, really successful year, but in a way that's different than we've seen her before. Like something that's very personal, a project that feels very personal, fulfilling, and exciting. We're going to see that come to fruition this year. Oh, I forgot to pull a card. Oh my God, you guys. Hold on. Let me back up. Let me pull a card for Kylie. Oh my God. So this, they're jumping. So this is for Kylie. I'm not going to focus on anything in particular because she's in the 1 year. So it's really about her. So what is the predictive energy for Kylie in 2026? 1 card. Ace of Wands. Yup. You guys, the 1 year. Look, it even looks like a 1. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Okay. I'm geeking out. Yeah. It even looks like a 1, just one big 1. But this is exactly what 1 energy is about. This is the Ace of Wands. This talks about how you win when you express yourself, when you go after what sets your soul on fire, your passions. The 1 year is about you going after what you want and being a little bit selfish, because if you don't know who you are, then how can you really be there for other people, right? Put your own oxygen mask on first. Be that inspiration for your own self, for your own life, so that you can show up fully for others in a way that is bold and positive. And so that's what she's doing, and that's what she's meant to do this year. So yes, it's about her joy, her excitement, and I love that for her. Okay, amazing. What about Selena Gomez? Her 1 card that explains her energy of 2026. What's the energy of Selena Gomez's 2026, allegedly, for entertainment purposes only? The High Priestess, yes. Okay, she's going to be creating from her intuition, from a higher place. Like I said, the things that she is a part of this year, there's going to be 1 project in particular, I just know it, that's going to be like fulfillment of a dream, something that feels very personal. Maybe she's going to even produce it. But the High Priestess, yes, orchestrating her career, orchestrating her life from a place of creativity, higher wisdom, and more like spiritual truth, something that she's been really wanting for a long time. The High Priestess, yeah. She's going to be manifesting creatively. High Priestess, love it. Okay, next. Let's talk about Cardi B. Okay, so Cardi B was a little bit messy in 2025. Some stuff going on with court cases, some stuff going on with the guy that she was having a baby with. I mean, it was a lot of drama. Well, you guys, that's one of the pitfalls of the 3 personal year. So Selena Gomez, you need to be careful. Okay, be careful in 3 personal year. Look at Cardi B as an example. Don't let the 3 year make you too messy. Don't get too in your feels about stuff. Channel that energy towards creativity. But like I said, children, that was a theme. Romance, that's a theme. And Cardi B kind of experienced it in a messy way. Well, sometimes we go down to the depths of mess so that we can realize that we really want to get our act together. And that is what 2026 is about for Cardi B. In a 4 personal year, that is when we finally have kind of had enough with, if we were experiencing and expressing anything negative in the 3 year, if we were too scattered, if we were too emotionally unhinged, if we were, having kids and doing things that maybe children are always a blessing, but maybe now that we think back, we're like, okay, moving forward though, I don't want to repeat that. we're going to get more structure. We're going to decide that we want to be more structured. We want to have more boundaries, with ourselves, maybe the way that we express ourselves. So for Cardi, I think that that's where she's going to be. In 2026, we may see a more buttoned up version of her. We may see a lot less of her on social media. The 3 energy is very expressive and just kind of lets it all hang out. It's about communication. So again, Selena Gomez, be careful about that. We know that she gets a little bit messy on social media. So hopefully, because she's in the high priestess energy, she's going to be very balanced with how she expresses herself. But more truth, more honesty, and Cardi B definitely let it all kind of spill on social media and beyond. So I think that in 2026, she is going to be a little bit more behind the scenes, working hard on her foundations, her family, her day-to-day life. She might just be doing things more out of the spotlight. If she is in the spotlight, it's going to be in a way that's very disciplined and very focused towards a greater goal. The 4 energy is like what I work on, what I do this year. It's all for the long-term strategy. It reminds me of Capricorn season. We talked about in the live stream that it's very much like Saturnian, like, you are the coach of the zodiac. You're coaching yourself that year to be the best version of yourself. So yeah, we may see a more disciplined side of her. Let's pull a card to see what else could be coming for her. Cardi B's overall energy in 2026. The Judgment card. You guys, stop. Stop it. You guys. Oh my gosh. Okay. When tarot and numerology are just real. They're just too real. The Judgment card. Yes, she's going to be using her greater judgment. She's going to be using her judgment, her discernment in 2026. We may all be surprised by how she's just moving differently in 2026. Now, one other way that this could go, which I hope not, but potentially when we have the Judgment card, because she's found herself in some legal issues and she allegedly, whatever, she was able to move on from those legal problems relatively unscathed, right? She needs to really dot her I's and cross her T's this year, because if she were to get into any sort of legal issue, I don't think that it would go positively for her. It's time to, like I said, clean up your act. Like it's time to not be messy anymore. What you do in a 4-year has to be very orderly, very clean, very neat. It's not the year to pop off. Just basically stay that straight and narrow pathway. In the 4-year. Don't take too many risks, because Judgment, Saturn energy, Capricorn energy is all around you, and you will be rewarded with long-term success if you show up with discipline, if you stay focused on what's most important, if you do the hard things, if you chop wood, carry water, like that book that I mentioned in the live stream, you will be rewarded. The Judgment will be that you get the rewards. If you don't, if you keep acting the way that you did in the 3-year, you're finally going to see that it doesn't work for you anymore. Like there are going to be consequences. So I think that this means that she's going to be using her judgment in 2026. But if for some crazy reason she decided not to, it could also mean that she experiences a judgment of sorts. Okay, but we'll keep it positive. I think she's going to be using her highest judgment in 2026. So, okay, makes sense. All right, for Beyonce. So for Beyonce, this is a 5 personal year. Okay, guys, so allegedly for entertainment purposes only. This is reminding me of my favorite example of a 5 personal year and what that looks like for people. Taylor Swift. Her 5 personal year, we've talked about it in the podcast, talked about it in the live stream. Her 5 personal year was 2023. What happened for her? Started the Eras Tour, broke up with Joe Alwyn, or made it public that she and Joe Alwyn had broken up, got with Maddie Healy, broke up with Maddie Healy. At the end, when it was all said and done, got with Travis Kelce. Passion, 5 senses is what 5 energy is about. Started wearing her corsets and like feeling herself, having more fun. That is 5-year energy. So some people have been talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce having some issues behind the scenes for a while. If that's true, this would be the year that we may see a fracture We may see a shocking change, like, oh, all of a sudden it becomes public and they're not together anymore. That's one way it could manifest. Not guaranteed, right? So many ways that this can manifest. Basically, 5 is the year of change, of like big change. And the reason that we have 5 energy that comes in with all this change is because if we think about the cycles going from 1 to 9, every single year has a very specific purpose to keep moving us forward as we like learn these lessons in these like 9-year chunks. So in the 1 year, we're planting the seeds, we're starting something new. Okay. In the 2 year, we're like watering those seeds, slow and steady wins the race. 3 year, we're like getting a boost of creativity. It's like we've been watering those seeds in the 2 year. We've had different people and partners come in to help us grow those 1 year seeds. And now we're like feeling footloose and fancy free because we're starting to see the sprouts come up. We're having fun with it. Okay. Then maybe we had a little too much fun. It's time to get back to business. It's time to refine the strategy. It's time to put in another push year of hard work, really do those things that are going to help the growth to continue. So we're going to come into the garden again where we planted those seeds in the 1 year, and we're going to now add a fence around the garden. But to add the fence, we're going to have to build it, and it's going to make us sweat, and we're going to be a little tired. That's the 4 year. Then once we have the fence around it, we're like, okay, I can have fun again. That's the 5 year. We may decide in the 5 year, you know what? I like this so much. This looks so good, but I actually am going to change what I have in this garden. I'm going to change out the seeds, or I'm going to add another garden, or I'm going to buy a whole new house with, another garden. Like, I don't know. It's about like now we change, we refresh, we reinvigorate ourselves. The 5 senses are meant to stimulate us, excite us. We tend to look our best in a 5 year. We tend to be, in a headspace and in an energy and in, a vibration that attracts a lot of energy. People want to be around us. It's a very popular social year. It can feel a little bit daunting if we don't like change, which who does, right? I think naturally as humans, we all kind of like shy away from change. So 5 is the year to embrace change, trusting that it is for our greatest good and to help us get more excited about our life. So for Beyonce, my prediction is that she's going to come out with an album that is completely different, completely new. Something that we've never heard from her before. She may go like full country album. I think that didn't she do like a country album before? But this would be like different. Like, and I don't know exactly how, but it's like something like genuine country, or I don't know. There's just going to be something that is totally different that she does. Maybe she launches a tour that is like going to take her all over the world. Maybe it's a new project, or maybe she stars in a movie. Maybe she produces a film. Like, I don't know, but there's something creative that's going to put her in the public eye in a very front and center way that's going to show us a different side of her, something that we just didn't even know she was interested in, or something that we didn't expect. Romantically, a very romantic year, but if there are issues in a relationship, in a marriage, this could be the year that, there is a change, that there's a breakup. So let's pull a card for Beyonce to see what could be going on for her in this 5 year. She may do like some sort of glow up. I don't know what she could do, but there could be a physical change. She could look different. Like, there's something's going to change about her this year in a way that's going to be positive. The Magician. Yep. You guys, why are these cards like so perfectly going with the personal years? Yeah, the Magician. Change. You guys. Change and manifestation. So if we look at the Magician, there's like a cup that stands for emotions. There is a sword, which is the way that you think, the way you express yourself. A wand, which is your passion. A pentacle, which is your money and business. So basically, the sky's the limit. And in a 5 year, you can change anything that you want. If you want to change it, you can do it. Like, the 5 year is the year to change it. So yeah, she is thinking about what she wants to change. Last year, during the 4 year, as she was doing a lot of work behind the scenes, focusing on her family, focusing on her foundation, she realized what is really the most important to her, and also realized that she wants to have more fun in life. And we're going to see her manifesting that with the Magician energy. 5 is such a creative year. So yeah, manifesting something, and it can be whatever she wants. So we'll see what that is. It's going to be interesting. Okay. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to go over to the Patreon to talk a little bit about some more juicy readings for other celebrities and political figures. So if you guys are interested in that, go check it out over on Patreon or the members only. And feel free to leave requests for more celebrity predictions. We can do a few more of those in our next live stream. I would be happy to get into it. But I just wanted to do some predictions on some of the celebrities that I feel like have been in the headlines a lot or have had interesting things happening in 2025 that I've gotten a lot of DMs about. And yeah, hope you guys found this interesting. If you want your own reading from now through January 11th, you can email me at britcardsandstars@gmail.com because I'm offering 2 different types of readings until it fills up. If I get like 20 requests, then I'm going to have to only do those 20 people because it's just me doing them. And I go very in depth with these readings. Each one is a minimum of 30 minutes long, and I don't put a time limit on it because what I'm doing is your full year numerology. We're going month by month as well. And I will not only be explaining how the energies of your month will build each month, towards the next one for a full 12 months of how your personal year numerology is going to unfold. I also am going to be pulling a tarot card for each month. So it's like a full-on masterminding your year strategy reading. I am offering an MP3 only, which is just audio for $55. And then I'm offering like a video tea time where you'll be able to like visually see the cards and all of that. That recording will be $150. So if you guys are interested in that, send me an email. I also have the email in the description below. And otherwise, just let's keep hanging out. Okay. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Let me know what you guys think about those predictions. Would love to hear more about your thoughts. Okay. You guys have an amazing 2026. Love y'all. Bye, guys.